Top 20 UX designer interview questions and answers. Preparing for a UX designer interview requires more than technical knowledge. It's about showing empathy, problem-solving skills, and a user-first mindset. Interviewers want to see how you understand user needs, conduct research, create intuitive designs, and balance those with business goals. This guide compiles the top 20 UX designer interview questions with detailed answers, 100 words each, to help you prepare with confidence. By practicing these responses and tailoring them to your own experiences, you'll be able to demonstrate your expertise, communication skills, and passion for creating meaningful user experiences. 1. Can you tell me about yourself and your background in UX design? I have a strong background in UX design, specializing in creating user-centered digital experiences that solve real problems. My journey started with graphic design, but I soon developed a passion for understanding how people interact with technology. Over the years, I've worked on projects ranging from mobile apps to enterprise software, focusing on research, usability, and seamless interactions. My process always begins with empathy, understanding user needs, and ends with functional, enjoyable solutions. I'm skilled in research, wireframing, prototyping, and usability testing, and I collaborate closely with developers and product managers to ensure design consistency and successful implementation. 2. How do you define UX design, and why is it important? UX design is the process of creating meaningful and efficient interactions between users and digital products. It focuses on usability, accessibility, and emotional satisfaction rather than just visual appeal. Good UX design ensures that users can accomplish their goals quickly and easily, while also enjoying the process. It's important because even the most visually appealing interface can fail if it frustrates users or prevents them from completing tasks. Strong UX reduces friction, builds trust, increases customer loyalty, and drives business success. In short, UX design bridges the gap between technology and human needs, making digital experiences truly valuable. 3. What is your typical UX design process from research to final delivery? My UX design process begins with research, understanding user needs, business goals, and market conditions. I gather insights through interviews, surveys, and competitor analysis. Next, I create personas and user journey maps to identify opportunities. I move into ideation and sketching, followed by wireframing and prototyping to visualize solutions. Usability testing helps validate ideas before refining them into high-fidelity designs. I then collaborate with developers to ensure smooth implementation, providing design specifications and support. Post-launch, I analyze performance metrics and collect user feedback for continuous improvement. This iterative approach ensures that the product remains user-centered and impactful. 4. How do you conduct user research, and which methods do you prefer? User research is essential for understanding real user needs. I begin by defining research goals, then select methods that suit the project. For exploratory research, I use interviews, surveys, and contextual inquiries to gather insights. For evaluative research, I rely on usability testing and A/B testing to validate solutions. I also analyze analytics tools like Google Analytics or Hotjar to understand behavior patterns. My preferred method is a combination of qualitative and quantitative research because it balances user stories with measurable data. This approach ensures that designs are evidence-based, reducing assumptions and resulting in more effective user experiences. 5. Can you explain how you create personas and user journey maps? Personas are created after analyzing user research data. I group users by common behaviors, needs, and goals, then create fictional yet realistic profiles that represent these groups. Each persona includes demographics, pain points, motivations, and scenarios. User journey maps, on the other hand, outline the steps a persona takes to achieve a goal, highlighting touchpoints, emotions, and pain points. By mapping these journeys, I identify opportunities for improvement and areas where users struggle. Both personas and journey maps help keep the team aligned and focused on real user needs throughout the design and development process. 6. What tools do you use for UX research, wireframing, and prototyping? For research, I use tools like Google Forms, Typeform, and Hotjar to gather feedback and behavioral data. For wireframing and prototyping, I primarily rely on Figma, Sketch, and Adobe XD, which allow collaboration and iteration. For advanced prototyping, I use InVision and Axure to simulate complex interactions. For collaboration and brainstorming, I prefer Miro and FigJam. Analytics platforms like Google Analytics and Mixpanel also play a key role in validating design decisions. I choose tools based on project scope, team needs, and client requirements, but I remain flexible and open to adopting new technologies when needed. 7. How do you ensure your designs are user-centered rather than assumption-based? To ensure designs remain user-centered, I rely heavily on research and testing. I start by conducting user interviews, surveys, and observations to understand real behaviors. During design, I create personas and journey maps to keep the focus on user needs. Prototypes are tested with actual users, and I iterate based on their feedback rather than personal preferences or assumptions. I also collaborate with stakeholders to align business goals with user insights. By grounding decisions in evidence and continuously validating with users, I ensure my designs prioritize real-world usability and effectiveness over subjective opinions or assumptions. 8. Can you walk us through a UX project from your portfolio that you are most proud of? One of my proudest projects was designing a healthcare appointment booking app. The challenge was that patients struggled with long, confusing booking flows. I began with research, interviewing users and mapping their pain points. I then redesigned the flow into a simple 3-step process, adding progress indicators and reminders. Usability testing confirmed users found it easier and faster to schedule. After launch, appointment completion increased by 35% and customer satisfaction improved. This project stands out because it solved a real problem, improved efficiency for patients and staff, and reinforced how thoughtful UX can create measurable positive impact. 9. How do you validate your design decisions with real users? I validate design decisions through usability testing, A/B testing, and analytics. Once I have a prototype, I conduct usability sessions where users perform tasks while I observe their behavior. Their feedback highlights pain points and validates design assumptions. For live products, I use A/B testing to compare variations and measure outcomes like conversion rates or completion times. Analytics tools help identify drop-offs or high engagement areas. Combining qualitative insights with quantitative data ensures my designs are not just visually appealing but also effective in meeting user goals. Validation with real users is key to creating successful, user-centered solutions. 10. What role does usability testing play in your process? Usability testing is essential to my process because it ensures that designs work as intended before launch. It allows me to identify issues early, saving time and costs associated with rework. By watching users interact with prototypes, I gain insights into where they struggle, what they enjoy, and how intuitive the design feels. I often conduct moderated or unmoderated testing, depending on the project scope. The feedback gathered informs iterations and refinements, ensuring the final product meets real user needs. Usability testing transforms assumptions into evidence-based improvements, making it a cornerstone of user-centered design. 11. How do you handle conflicting feedback from users and stakeholders? Conflicting feedback is common, and I approach it by first clarifying the goals. If users request one thing and stakeholders another, I analyze which aligns best with overall business objectives and user needs. I rely on data, such as usability testing results, analytics, or industry benchmarks, to support decisions. Sometimes, I create A/B tests to validate both perspectives. If compromise is needed, I communicate transparently with all parties, ensuring they understand the trade-offs. My goal is to strike a balance where business goals are met without compromising usability, ensuring the product remains user-friendly and effective. 12. Can you describe a time when user feedback forced you to change your design direction? In one e-commerce project, I initially designed a checkout flow with multiple verification steps, assuming it would make users feel more secure. However, during usability testing, feedback showed frustration with the lengthy process, leading to drop-offs. I reevaluated the design and created a streamlined one-page checkout with clear progress indicators and optional guest checkout. Post-launch data showed a 40% increase in completed purchases. This experience taught me the importance of validating assumptions with users and being flexible in changing direction. User feedback, while sometimes unexpected, is essential in driving effective and customer-friendly design decisions. 13. How do you balance simplicity with functionality in UX design? Balancing simplicity with functionality requires understanding user priorities. I focus on the most critical tasks users want to accomplish and ensure those flows are intuitive and streamlined. Additional features are organized logically so they don't overwhelm or distract. I apply principles like progressive disclosure, where advanced options are hidden until needed. This way, the interface remains clean while still offering robust functionality. Usability testing helps validate whether the balance is right. The key is ensuring that the product is easy for new users while still powerful enough for experienced ones. Achieving harmony between simplicity and capability. 14. How do you ensure accessibility and inclusivity in your designs? Accessibility is a non-negotiable part of my design process. I follow WCAG guidelines by ensuring sufficient color contrast, using readable font sizes, and creating designs that work with screen readers. I design logical navigation, provide alt text for images, and ensure keyboard navigation works effectively. Inclusivity goes beyond accessibility. I consider diverse cultural contexts, language support, and representation in imagery. I test designs with accessibility tools and, where possible, involve users with disabilities in usability testing. My goal is to create products that are usable and enjoyable by all people, regardless of ability, age, or background. 15. What metrics do you use to measure UX success? I use both qualitative and quantitative metrics to evaluate UX success. Common quantitative metrics include task completion rate, time on task, error rate, and drop-off points. I also look at Net Promoter Score, NPS, and customer satisfaction, CSAT, to capture overall sentiment. Heat maps and click tracking reveal engagement patterns, while analytics tools measure conversion and retention rates. On the qualitative side, usability testing provides direct insights into how users feel while interacting with the product. By combining both data types, I gain a holistic understanding of how effectively the design meets user needs and business goals. 16. How do you prioritize design improvements when resources are limited? When resources are limited, I prioritize improvements that deliver the highest impact with the least effort. I use frameworks like the Moscow method, must have, should have, could have, want have, or the Eisenhower matrix to rank tasks. I focus on fixing usability issues that directly affect core user journeys or business objectives, such as checkout flows or onboarding experiences. I also consult with stakeholders to align on what's most valuable. Continuous user feedback helps identify quick wins alongside long-term improvements. This strategic prioritization ensures resources are used effectively, balancing immediate user satisfaction with sustainable design progress. 17. How do you collaborate with UI designers, developers, and product managers? Collaboration is central to UX success. With UI designers, I work closely to ensure that the final visual design aligns with usability principles and user needs. With developers, I share prototypes, provide detailed documentation, and clarify interactions to ensure accurate implementation. With product managers, I align design decisions with business priorities and timelines. Regular stand-ups, workshops, and collaborative tools like Figma, Jira, and Slack help maintain communication. I believe in early involvement of all parties, fostering shared ownership of the product. This cross-functional collaboration ensures smoother workflows and stronger, user-focused outcomes. 18. What's the most challenging UX problem you've solved, and how did you solve it? One of the most challenging problems I solved was improving a SaaS dashboard where users struggled with data overload. The interface was cluttered, making key insights hard to find. I conducted usability testing, which revealed users needed clear hierarchy and customizable views. I redesigned the dashboard with collapsible sections, improved navigation, and added filtering options. I also introduced data visualization techniques to highlight trends at a glance. After launch, user satisfaction scores rose, and customer support tickets decreased by 30%. This project taught me the importance of simplifying complexity and designing around real user workflows. 19. How do you stay updated on the latest UX trends, tools, and methodologies? I stay updated by reading design blogs like Nielsen Norman Group, UX Collective, and Smashing Magazine. I participate in online communities such as UX Stack Exchange and follow thought leaders on LinkedIn and Twitter. I attend webinars, conferences, and workshops to learn from industry experts. I also take online courses to deepen knowledge of new methodologies and tools. Experimenting with emerging technologies like AR/VR interfaces or AI-driven design keeps me adaptable. Staying curious and continuously learning ensures my design work remains relevant, innovative, and aligned with the evolving expectations of both users and businesses. 20. Why should we hire you as a UX designer for our team? You should hire me because I bring a strong combination of research skills, design expertise, and collaboration experience. I excel at turning user insights into intuitive designs that meet both user needs and business objectives. I'm proficient with modern UX tools, adaptable to different workflows, and skilled at working with cross-functional teams. Beyond technical skills, I bring empathy, creativity, and a problem-solving mindset, which help me deliver meaningful user experiences. I'm passionate about improving digital products and would be dedicated to contributing my expertise to help your company build solutions that truly engage and satisfy users. UX design is about putting users at the heart of every decision while aligning solutions with business success. In interviews, focus on showcasing your design process, research skills, collaboration style, and real-world problem-solving examples. Remember, strong answers combine practical experience with empathy and creativity. Use this guide as a foundation, but personalize your responses with your unique projects and achievements. Approach your interview with confidence, curiosity, and a clear demonstration of your ability to create impactful user experiences. Good luck! You're ready to impress.